Hello and welcome to another unboxing video. This one is on some buildings and structures that I got from Minibits from their website, and I've been looking for something for modern wargaming, particularly Afghanistan, and I came across these last week. They were delivered yesterday, so I got three kits. First one was market stalls. 6 market stalls. I've got 2 of those. And then the buildings, I've got 2 kits, and they come with more than one building in each one. So this one is the Afghan buildings, red 28A02, and you get two buildings there. And this kit, the red 28A01, you get 4 buildings. So that's the price of those. So about £7 each. And these ones £13.50 or thereabouts each. So let's have a look at one of the kits. So this is the market stall set, and I think this is about £3. And it's a single sheet of MDF. And we get 6 stalls, so it looks like 3 just straight tables and 3 covered tables. So nice and simple, straightforward. And I'll put those together and see what they look like. I just popped back to Minibits website and I couldn't see any instructions for the buildings. They're made by Red Vectors, which have a website at redvectors.co.uk, and they don't have instructions either, but there are a couple of photographs of some of the individual floors of the building, so I think you'd probably work out by just looking at those photographs if you're struggling to put them together. So anyway, this is the third kit, the 4 building kit. Which has quite a few staples that get in the way, but they're all now out of the way, so let's have a look at the kit. So again, we've got quite a few sheets, and looks like they're falling out of the frames, which isn't necessarily bad. Now they're numbered A, B, C, D, so hopefully the parts won't get mixed up. So we've got floors and buildings and balconies. So that's the just a quick look at those parts, and we'll have a look at them put together, see what they look like. So I've made up 3 of the Afghan red vector 28mm MDF buildings, and this is them. So we just started off with the market stalls, Very simple construction, just the legs and the top, and on this one the legs, the top and the canopy. The first thing to notice is, I guess because of the fitting, they're not going to go together without glue. So I'll put some blue tack in there, otherwise they wouldn't hold at all. But of course, once glued up, that's that issue solved. And there's the one with the cover. So just put it next to a figure, and it won't fit under there with the stand, but it will fit under there without the stand. And to give you some idea of how tall they are, it comes up to sort of belt height, so well within scale. So the first building, this is the simplest one. It's just a, in fact, let me just move these out of the way. Yeah, that gives us a bit more room. So it's just a simple square building. And this one, similarly, doesn't click fit as such. Oh no, it's the other one. I tell a lie. This one has clicked together without the use of blue tack. So we get the internal supports here, which replicate the beams coming out, and they form the top that we can rest the roof on. So a very simple construction. I'm not convinced that once that's all glued together that roof is a perfect fit. There is a gap, and I think it's probably a gap slightly too much. There has to be some leeway to get the roof easily in and out, to remove to put your figures in, but I think the gap is slightly too much, and that's going to rattle around in there. Also, I mean, my finger's quite fat. The only way to remove it is to put your finger in the hole and pull it out, which I think is a little bit unwieldy. So I don't know whether I'll build something over the top, some kind of cover that will make it easier to remove. Anyway, that's the first building. The second one was from the larger kit, the 2 buildings kit, and this is the one that had issues. So it's not a snap fit. The fitting is very loose, so you will need to test fit it, obviously, to make sure all the parts are in the right place, and in order to do that I've had to use blue tack, otherwise it will just fall apart. But that's not an issue once you've glued it together, obviously. You've got to make sure that the walls are the right way around. For instance, they have like the bit sticks out that end and sticks in this end. They're not necessarily similar either end, so you've got to make sure you've turned the wall the right way around. But they do only fit one way. So although there aren't instructions, you shouldn't get confused with the 2 floors and the parts of the 2 floors, because they only go together in one particular way. So that's the ground floor. The top floor, again blue tacked up because it won't stick together. Now this just fits over the top of the bottom floor, but again, I don't know if you can see that, there is quite a lot of leeway. So it's not a snap fit that you might get with a Sarissa building. It's kind of just perched on there any which way you like, really, which does leave it open to sort of twisting and being a little awkward angle. So if that's important to you, that's something to bear in mind. And again, there is quite a gap, so now granted it's not glued together, so it might be a little bit tighter once it's glued up, but I think that gap is quite large. And of course, if I put it on the other way around, it's even actually larger. So I'm not convinced that the top floors on these buildings are as tight as they could be. And again, it's just an open top. So whether to build some kind of entryway over the top of that, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the second one I did. And just putting that down, the walls have fallen off. The blue tack hasn't held it, but as I say, that won't be a problem when it's glued. And this is the third building. So this is from the 4-building kit, and it's the larger of the 4 buildings in the set. This one went together a little bit better. I think the fits were tighter. Certainly the outer walls into the base were tighter. No requirement for blue tack there for a push fit. Again, the top floor, we do have quite large gaps. But I mean, it's a pleasant little building, and once all glued down, painted up, I mean, it may be possible if I'm that fussed about it to maybe make some hard card floors and replace them, but we'll see once it's all glued up. But a nice little set, and for the price, I mean, this kit works out about £7 a building, which is pretty good for a 28mm. So I'm not sure when I'll get around to paint them, but if I do, I will show you later. Thanks very much for watching.